everybody, and welcome to Tips December day 14. Oh my gosh, time really flies. Anyways, we're gonna take a break into my hair and skin routine, and we're going back to cosmetics. Now, today I wanted to share with you something that I'm also passionate about, and those are blushes that are like, well, anyways, I have 7 blushes that I personally really enjoy. Those are the ones that if I'm, packing my makeup case or something like that, then I will grab one of those into the case, because I know that I always love how they look on me, and I love how they blend. I love the pigmentation. I love everything about it, and I feel that I myself can't go wrong with those. Anyways, starting with the first, you will probably see a color family tonality in the blushes, because I tend more towards these two color families. I'm not a big on pinks. I don't personally enjoy pinks. The only pink that I like for cheeks is the cream pot, or what's the name? You know, the blush pot from Bobbi Brown in pale pink and in rose. Those are the two that are in the rosy family that I personally like. But other than that, I'm not really big fan of pink blushes. I have Nars in Angelica, and I barely use it because I'm not a fan of it. Anyways, this is the first one that started my passion for Plum blushes, and this is the Chanel Joues Contrast or powder blush in number 63, Plum Attraction. This is what it looks like. This one in particular is very hard to get, like, it is sort of like solidified, so it is a bit of a pain to... It wasn't really the greatest formula that you could find, but the shade is amazing, and I really love it. It's like I said, a plum, a brownish plum. It is let's say, it has like slightly bruised color, but I find it gorgeous on the cheeks, especially like when I'm very pale. If you go for pink blush, it might look a bit comical or borderlining on, dull look. Of course, if you're into that, then great, but I personally, I never flush in like a pink shade. I tend to have more of a mauvy shade, if you would say. Not mauvy, but anyways, I'm not gonna drag this video into trying to explain what shade my face naturally flushes into, but this one was my first love in that shade family, and I got it maybe 5 years ago, so it's been a long while. Next, that is something that you can probably more readily find, is the Nars Oasis. Again, oh, hello Mom, hello. If you can tell, they are the same shade family, but the exception is that this one is lighter, but this one doesn't apply as dark, therefore you get a very similar result, except that this one is more shimmery, or more, it has shimmer in it. So anyways, this is what it looks like. It is I'm gonna swatch it for you guys here. As you can see, it looks like a very natural, like flush tone that you get from your face, and that's what I really enjoy about it. It has small flickers of like very fine glitter in it, in I would say golden. So if you don't like glitter, or you don't like glitter that has golden undertones, then you probably don't like this one. But this one is seriously my I love this blush. Like if this one would cooperate better in the texture, then it would be my number one. But this one, it cooperates very well. It has great pigmentation. It lasts very long, and I love everything about it. Point made. Next, on the same shade family is one from Makeup Store. And Makeup Store, if you don't know, it's a Swedish brand, sort of like a MAC, Swedish MAC. And it is very oriented towards unusual things. Like they have a lot of glitter and unusual pigments, unusual nail polishes, unusual lip colors and such things. But anyways, oops. This is the Wonder Blush, and their Wonder Blushes, as like their Wonder Powder, are mineral based, and they are with a glow. So basically they give a glow or a sheen if you wish. And this one is in the shade Sphinx. That's what I'm wearing today, if you're wondering. And this is what it looks like. Now it will be a very heavy swatch, but nevertheless, there you can see it. It is a plum brownish shade. I don't know if you can tell, but it is sort of like pearly. I don't want to say metallic because it's not as shiny as a metallic, but it is very glowy. So it's not a matte blush by any means, but it gives a very natural finish. I tend to disfavor matte blushes because they can look very flat and they can get very muddy and oxidize quicker than shinier blushes. Therefore, I do prefer blushes that have some kind of glow into it. This one I really enjoy. It is almost like a pigment. As you can see, I've applied a very tiniest bit, and that's what you get. It is very concentrated, therefore this would last you ages. Next comes, let's see if this one, no, this one. The Sleek palettes, which I bought all of them, the blush palettes and the contour palettes. And from all that I bought, I have 2 that are my favorites. The others, I love all of them, but some of them are too out there for me to be wearing more frequently, and they are sort of not really suiting my skin tone or my colors. Therefore, I don't use them on myself. I use them on others, but this one is probably my favorite of them all, and is the Sugar palette in 364. And basically, let me try. This one is Turbinado, this one is Muscovado, and this one is Demerara. Yep. And my favorite one are those 2. This is similar to the Nars one, except it's much more pigmented and I would say more warm toned. Let me show you quickly so you can tell. But it is like similar. Or no, actually it doesn't look similar. But once it's on the skin, it actually applies similarly. It looks like, well, it's the same shade family. It is a plum. This one is a much colder plum. This one is a much warmer plum. This one I would say is more mauvy. This is what it looks like. And this is what it looks like applied. Now, as you can see, once it starts to be blended out, it is similar to the Nars one. It has that plummy undertone that I personally really love. This one over here, this is what it looks like. There. It has also, it is sort of like a rose wine undertone, and this one, it is what I would call a cool terracotta. It's not a warm terracotta by any means. Let's see if I can swatch it. Whoops, sorry. And there it is. This is a very versatile palette. I usually apply them in layer or blend them out together, and it really gives a gorgeous finish. And they're pretty much affordable. Now the only thing that I would say about the Sleek palettes that you have to be careful about is that they are very, very pigmented, and sometimes you can pick too much on your brush, and when you go and apply it, it will apply like a streak of color. So therefore I would dust off the brush even if you have lightly tapped it into the blush. The next one that I like is Pink Spirit. Like I said, I don't like pinks, but this is more of a fuchsia or a colder tone or more of a mauvy undertone, although the name is Pink Spirit and the number of the palette is 366. And again, this is Pink Parfait, this is Pink Eyes, and this is Pink Tinny. Now, the one that I really enjoy are the two on the sides. This one sometimes I will use as a pop of color. So this is that one. As you can see, is hellishly pigmented. It can be beautiful as an eyeshadow as well. Then we're grabbing the middle one. Again, very, very pigmented eyeshadows. Sorry, blushes. They are extremely pigmented. This is the last one. And there you go. So they are, although they are pinks, they are very, very cold. As you can tell, they have a bluish undertone. I can't pick, maybe this one might have a slight warmth to it, but these two here are very, very, very cold. This one reminds me of a blush from MAC Pro. Was it magenta or... Anyways, I think that you can still find it. It is a very neon pink blush that you can buy individually from the MAC Pro stores, like in the pan. And I used to have that one, and then I gave it away because I had no use for it. But again, now I got something similar in this palette. I don't really use it that much myself because as you can see, they are so pigmented that you have to be really careful when applying them, and sometimes when I'm in a rush, I don't want something that I have to be so careful about. But they are very, very good as a versatile palette because you can achieve many, many different looks, not only for the cheeks but for the eyes as well. Then we have my customized Bobbi Brown palette with shades that I absolutely enjoy. This is my own customized, and now I'm gonna tell you a little bit a story about this blush because it means a lot to me. And it was back when Bahama Brown collection or Bahama Summer or something like that came out. I think it's something like 5 or 6 years ago, and I was totally smitten on that look. The girl had a beautiful bronzer, but it was a cool tone bronzer. It wasn't a typical orange tone bronzer. And on the look chart, they explained that they had used Bahama Brown. Now, back then, Bahama Brown was sold as a bronzer, like a whole compact. But for some reason, it got discontinued, and I was heartbroken because I didn't get my hands on that particular bronzer. But then I was pretty happy to find out that it was repackaged as a shimmer blush. Basically same thing, but it is now in a smaller tin. But I've used this as a bronzer a lot because I really, really love it has a heathery mauvey undertone. The shimmer that it has there, it's, I would say, transparent to silver, so it's pretty cold toned. And again, let's see if I can swatch it. No, it didn't turn out well. Again, it is a gorgeous either bronzer or a blush. As a blush, it's also very beautiful. I feel that nobody can go wrong with this one, but that's just my personal opinion. Next, this one is the blush in Spice. This is a matte, and this originally I got it for my eyebrows because back then, 5 years ago, there wasn't really that much for redheads in terms of eyebrows. You either had to suck it up and go for a warm brunette eyeshadow or pencil, whatnot, or go down into strawberry blonde. But if you had very reddish eyebrows, then those two would just dull it out or make it muddy. Therefore, an artist recommended me this and she tried it on me and I was absolutely in love with it. My mom wasn't so thrilled because she didn't enjoy back then more reddish eyebrows, but I personally love it. Therefore, that's what I used it for, but then I found better formulas, better undertones and whatnot. So I stopped using that one as an eyebrow powder and switched to a blush. Again, this is a beautiful, beautiful terracotta blush. It is very matte and these, I don't have warm undertones on my skin, but I feel that this really gives a warmth on my skin and it's not like, it doesn't clash with my undertones. Now, I've tried it on my mom as well and on other clients and it looks very, very beautiful. And finally, we have the Shimmer blush in Coral number 3. Now, usually what I do is that I apply a layer of this and then I use a pop of color with this one. This is a very happy peach blush. That's how I can describe it. I personally don't like Nars, the Orgasm by Nars, but if you don't like that one because it's too muddy or too dull, too golden, then you will enjoy this one because this is a more cold toned coral. This has much more cool and warmth in it and it's just, when you apply it, it's just happiness in a blush. To continue with the coral shade, I'm going to be talking about a shimmer brick that I absolutely, absolutely love. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'm going to hit pan and I don't want that, but that's life. This is the Nectar shimmer brick. It came as a limited edition, but you can find it pretty much anywhere and I believe that many Bobbi Brown counters are still carrying it and perhaps it is made permanent now, but don't quote me on that one. But this is an absolutely gorgeous coral tone in it is a cold coral tone. Whoops, that's how I would describe it. And I have used it as eyeshadow sorry, I've used it as blush and both ways it's just amazing. Now, I don't know if this would suit many different undertones, but my friend has a very, very cold yellow undertone. She doesn't have warm yellow but cold yellow undertone and she absolutely loved this one. I have bluish undertones, like very cold bluish undertones, and I really enjoy this. So yeah, I don't know, I hope that's of any help in terms of skin tone reference. Anyways, those are my favorites. That's what I enjoy and that's what I feel looks beautiful on pale skins. Usually I stick to the mauvy brownish shades or the coral shades. Both just look gorgeous on pale skins. And yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and let me know in the comments down below what are your favorites, blushes or yeah, blushes basically, and if you've tried any of those, if you've liked it or how it worked for you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.